and welcome to the Beef Edge, the Teagasc Beef Podcast, for all your latest news, information and advice for Irish beef farmers. I'm Catherine Egan, and on this episode, I speak to Derrypatrick Herd Manager Michael McManus at Teagasc Grange to get an update on how the farm performed in 2019.
It was a great year in general. Overall, it was a great year for grass growth. Obviously, price was a big reduction in price this year, but it's something we can't control inside the farm gate. So we focused on what was inside the farm gate. So this year we got out nearly 5 to 6 weeks earlier compared to 2018. We got the first replacement heifers out in the middle of February, let's say, compared to the 20th of April in 2018. So obviously, 2019 we didn't incur a drought like 2018. So this year the price had reduced, but we'd be looking at a lot less feed costs. So we wouldn't have to supplement cattle during the summer with concentrates, or we also didn't have to feed silage throughout the summer. So they're two savings we had during the summer, and also we got an extended grazing season with a certain amount of stock until the 20th of November, which would be on par with 2018, but we also had a good return on silage this year as well, with some silage quality up, and we got in 5 pits compared to 4 pits last year. So we're very happy with the return on silage as well. Silage quality was very good. We cut our first cut of silage in the middle of May. It returned a DMD of 76. Then we also went with our second cut was cut towards the end of August. We would be more targeted for cows, and that would returned a DMD of 67. So we had 5 pits in total, and we were cut from the middle of May till the end of August.
Very good. And how did you manage the grass in the main grazing season, in addition to surplus bales being removed?
Yeah, so we took out, the decision was made in the first week in April. We took out over 50% of the farm for silage. So that was 80 acres. Taken out for silage. So that left the grazing platform highly stocked. So we hadn't an issue with surplus bales. Any surplus bales or any surplus paddocks that had went too strong for us, we incorporated them into the silage pit. So we had a cut in, let's say, as I was saying, in early May. We had another cut maybe in June, and so throughout the year, if I seen the paddocks getting strong, they were incorporated into the pit with some surplus bales taken out throughout the year. The farm was walked once a week, and in some cases, maybe in the height of the growing season, it had to be walked twice just to keep on top of the grass and silage go around as well, to see how the silage ground was progressing and to see when was the optimum time to cut.
So paddocks played a key role in managing grass during the main grazing season.
It sure did, yeah, exactly. We ran a paddock system. Exactly, yeah, and most paddocks are around 2.22 acres, and the cows were on the area land closest to the house, just solely for breeding season, and the weanlings or the steers and heifers were out further away from the farm. Very
good. So tell me about the Derrypatrick herd.
So the Derrypatrick herd is a 100 cow suckler herd. All progeny are brought to beef. It's currently stocked at about 2.8 to 3 livestock units per hectare. So the cow type would be 50% Limousin Frisian cross, and the remaining 50% would be Simmental and Limousin suckler bred cows. So we have a makeup of 50% suckler bred and 50% from the originated from the dairy cross of animals. That would be the cow makeup that we have, that we're currently running on the Derrypatrick.
Currently, all stock are housed. In relation to finishing stock, what is the management of those at the moment?
So there was 20 heifers slaughtered off grass on the 10th of October. Their carcass weight was 330 kilos. The remaining steers and heifers were housed on the same week, the 10th of October. They were housed and they were fed, the steers were fed 6 kilos a meal over the winter, and the heifers were fed 5 kilos. The steers will be finished between December through to February, depending on when they come fit.
The weanling management on the farm, what's happening with those at the moment?
So the weanlings are currently housed in the middle of October. They're currently on 1.5 kilos a meal and 72 DMD silage. The weanlings, they're averaging 340 kilos and 305 kilos. The weanlings were weaned in the 10th of October, 10 days earlier than last year, just due to weather conditions. The heifers average weight of 285 at weaning, and the bull calves were 315. The weaning took place over a 10-day period. It started on the Monday and finished the following week. It took place through 30 heifers in a group. 10 cows were removed on the Monday, and then the following Thursday another 10 cows are removed, and then maybe the following week, maybe on Monday or Tuesday, another 10 cows are removed. Concentrates are introduced to the weanlings a couple of days pre-weaning, solely to reduce the stress levels, maybe 1.5 kilos, and it is gave along the wire, and to reduce the stress levels of the calves. The bull calves are also castrated in the middle of August. This is solely to reduce the stress levels, and not to castrate and wean all in the same time. That's why I carry it out in August, and I find it works well.
And herd health is a key cornerstone to the success of the farm. What is the herd health plan for the farm for the year?
So let's say in January we start with the cows, get their IBR in January, and then they'll also get their second shot in July. The cows also, after calving, they receive their BVD and lepto, and in September they receive their salmonella. In January we also do the cows 4 weeks pre-calving with Rotovac Corona, a scour vaccination. This is passed through the calf, through the colostrum. So it's also critically important that all calves get their colostrum from their mother. That'll be the cow vaccination. Cover a lot of the cow vaccination. The calf vaccination program takes place 10 days to 2 weeks after the calf has been born. They're done for IBR and pneumonia. And then 1 month later, they'll receive their booster shot, and they also get a booster shot 1 month pre-weaning to cover the pneumonia strains. And also the calves at turnout are done for clostridial diseases. Then
to follow up, most recently, what was the health plan at housing for stock?
So at housing, the weanlings and cows were housed for a month, and then they received a treatment for lice, worms, and fluke. And yeah, that was their main protocol we follow on the farm. We leave the cattle in 1 month, and then they're treated for lice, fluke, and worms.
With over 100 cows calving in 2019, how was calving performance on the farm?
We were very happy with the calving performance in 2019. 105 cows calved with 104 live calves at foot. So we were quite happy with how the calving went. Over 70 of the cows calved themselves, with 20 requiring some assistance, and 4 sections on the farm.
And what is your management post-calving?
The cows are on slats for the winter. They're grouped according to body condition score, and they're fed accordingly. So maybe my calving, I do get my calving dates as close as possible. Since 100% AI on the farm, we're able to track when potentially the cow will calve within a certain amount of days. So I follow my calving dates, and also the condition of the cow, and visually how she looks. So then once the cow is close to her date and getting visually looks like she's ready to calve, she's removed and put into the calving bay, maybe anywhere up to 3 to 4 days pre-calving. She'll remain in the calving bay until she calves, and then once she is bonded with her calf, she'll be removed to a group pen in another shed. Then once the calves are vaccinated and tagged, they'll be returned to grass at 2 weeks of age, weather permitting. All calves once born are weighed, and as I says, they'll be vaccinated at 2 weeks of age, weighed and tagged, and their navels will be treated with a disinfectant.
Currently, only 22% of beef heifers calve at 2 years of age. You are calving the heifers at the moment at 2 years of age on the farm. How do you manage these heifers?
Yes, so due to the trial work being carried out on the farm, all heifers are being purchased from both the farms and from marts, with 3/4 of the heifers being bought off farms that we deal with on a yearly basis. So the heifers originally used to come in the spring, but I've recently started taking in the heifers in from October and October, November and December. This is solely to get in the heifers as early as possible in on the farm, get them used to the farm, get them up to date with their vaccination protocol, and also be able to reach their target weights for breeding on the first week week in May. So we take in our heifers in October, November. The suckler bred heifers would be hoping to purchase them at an average weight of 350, and our dairy cross heifers would be hoping to purchase them at an average weight of 300 kilos. So 280 to 300 kilos. This is to reach a target weight of over 400 kilos on the first week in May for breeding, and anywhere from 330 to 350 for the dairy cross heifers for breeding in the first week in May. So that'd be some of the targets we'd be hoping to reach.
In follow up, then Michael, how did the breeding season go? The fact you're using 100% AI.
We were quite happy this year with the breeding season. 91% scanding calf after a 10.5 week breeding season. This is 9 days shorter than in 2018. This was solely compacted to make the calving season more compact, which is more labour efficient, and also to stop the calving season running into the breeding season. It'll give a break in between the two, which will allow us prepare better for the breeding season ahead. So we were quite happy with how our breeding season went. As I was saying, 100% AI. All cows tail painted in the beginning with yellow. Then once they've been served, they'll be going to blue. And it's an easy way of tracking what cows are in calf, and let's say after the first 3 weeks you'll know which cows haven't been in heat, and it'll be just an easy way of tracking what needs to be kept an eye on. So each group of cows has a vasectomized bull. The vasectomized bull has a chin ball, which then also marks the cows once they've been mounted. This is an extra aid along with the tail paints to help to identify the cows that are in heat.
There are currently a number of research studies going on the farm. What are they?
So currently carrying out a breeding research where we 100% of the cows are AI'd, 50% of the cows are AI'd to a high terminal bull versus 50% are bred to a high replacement and a high terminal bull. This is solely to see if a farmer is going down the route of breeding his replacement heifers, will he take a hit on if he has a bull calf on the terminal calf when he brings them to the factory. So currently we have our first cattle have been slaughtered there recently, and still have some to slaughter in the next coming weeks. And we also have coming in with our third group of calves at the minute. So we'll have more information on this trial at the Grange Open Day in summer 2020.
We look forward to hearing it. With regard to calving season 2020 around the corner, what is your current dry cow management protocol on the farm?
So when the cows are housed, they're housed according to body condition score. This leaves the management of the cows a lot easier. We're able to identify cows which are in a better condition, and maybe some of the cows which after weaning might be in maybe a lower body conditioning score. For example, some of the first time calvers, they potentially might be weaned maybe at the beginning. And once they're housed, they'll be batched together, and maybe the cows in lower body condition score will receive the higher quality silage, maybe 72, 73. The cows in the higher body condition scores, they are currently on a 67 DMD silage, second cut silage that was made in the end of August, solely to maintain body weight. We want the cows calving down fit rather than fat.
With regard to calving season 2020, what is your key focus at the moment? One
of the key focuses would be hygiene, making sure we have adequate straw, maybe the lime, make sure the calving facilities are all fully disinfected pre-calving. We also make sure we have medicines on hand if calves require some. Also, a big thing we'll need is make sure we have enough of labour. The first 6 weeks of calving will be quite intense, with over 90 cows calving in the first 6 weeks. So, for example, maybe make sure we have our students lined up for the weeks of calving. Our calving will start in the first week in the middle of February, and will finish up in the middle of May, and the first week in May. So our calving will start in the middle of February and will finish towards the end of April. So we have an 11-week calving spread this year, which is a week shorter than last year. So it'll be more compact, and labour, for example, and students will be very important. It will play a big role in the cows in 2020.
Some excellent points there. Thank you very much for joining me on the show. We look forward to hearing more about this at the Grange Open Day in 2020.
Thank you very much, Catherine.
That's all for this episode, and my thanks to Michael McManus for joining me on the show. You can catch up on all other shows and interviews from the Beef Edge podcast on the Teagasc website at teagasc.ie. or you can listen on Apple and Google Podcasts as well as Spotify. Don't forget to rate, review and subscribe to the podcast so you never miss a show. Until next time, I'm Catherine Egan and thanks for listening.